Alex, we're speaking on the eve of the new season. How much are you looking forward to getting going?
Yeah, I think it's felt probably longer as a pre-season than what I've done, in terms of the fact that we've got so much to do. We've done a lot behind the scenes, so it's been a long time coming, the first game, and I think now we're all ready to get sort of stuck into it.
You went through a meticulously planned pre-season. Are you where you wanted to be at this stage?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to lie. I think ideally for every scenario, which is impossible, we would have liked everybody in at the start of pre-season so we could have done all the training together. We could have put all the layers in that we need for the team in terms of how we're going to perform against different shapes, but that was never going to be the case. So I think we've found ourselves in a really strong situation in the fact that we've done a large part of our business, which means we're going to be competitive on the pitch for the first game, but also we've still got some scope to improve the squad and try and strengthen some areas as well. So it's a healthy position for us to be in.
We've seen 11 players come through the door. Were you always optimistic that you would get those sort of numbers through?
Yeah, I had no doubt about that. Yeah, I think all the discussions and interviews and different things like that the last season, I mean, that was fully discussed at length in terms of the rebuild that we were going to have to endure. And yeah, so that's not came as a surprise. I think it's just making sure we get the right business, which is important. But like I say, we're not finished yet.
Are you pleased with the blend of players that you've managed to get?
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing, because when you can watch players in terms of how they play is one thing, getting personalities that are good lads, are solid lads, that put the team first, that train well, create a good environment for each other, I think that's equally as important. So, and thankfully the boys that we've signed so far have been excellent in that respect.
4 players are coming on loan. Was that an area that you wanted to exploit, the loan market?
I think it had to be, because albeit we've got money to spend, when you start spreading it over 11, 12, 13, 14 potential players, naturally it's not going to be as much as what you would probably think. So we're always going to have to do some free transfers, we're always going to have to do some loans, and then naturally we're going to make some purchases which we hope are going to be assets that will arguably be a bit younger than some of the other ones that we've brought in.
Are you hoping to add a few more then?
Yeah, definitely. We've still got work to do. I think that we've still got certain areas we'd like to improve and strengthen. So yeah, I think that we've done some really good work to this point, but like I say, we're not finished.
It's Rotherham United for the season opener. What sort of challenge are you expecting?
A tough game. Last year we really struggled. I thought we played well in both games, but ultimately we didn't win. So that's the key of the game is to try and get the 3 points. So it's going to be a tough match. I've watched them pre-season. I thought I've seen them against Lincoln and I've seen them against Sheffield United. I thought they performed well both games. So, but yeah, listen, we know what we've got to do. It's our home form that we need to make sure is better than what it was last year. Like I say, we've got some unknown quantities in our squad. I think we know what's coming for Rotherham, but equally it's not easy to stop because they're effective at what they do.
Ben Pearson had to miss the friendly against Everton last weekend. How's he doing at the moment?
Yeah, he's been on the grass a little bit, so we'll make a late call on Ben whether we feel as if he's ready or not.
Sold 15,000 plus season cards this season, which is more than last season. Does that give you a bit of a boost knowing that the fans are buying into what you're trying to achieve here? Yeah,
I think it's that excitement we spoke about earlier, and that optimism for the season. I think the fact that we've got some players that are unknown, I think is exciting for fans. Obviously they want to come and sort of see lads that they're not sure how well or how not well they might do, but we're really quite confident, the lads that we've brought in, and what I will say, and I've said it quite a few occasions now, particularly for some of the lads that have came from abroad, we just need to give them a little bit of time to settle in, but I believe they'll be very good for us.
How big a role would the supporters have in helping them to settle in?
Massive, because I think that it's like anything else. When the team's doing great and the fans are behind it, it seems really, really easy and everything's straightforward. If the team's not doing so well and the fans are not happy with what they see, then that also creates a sort of negative environment. So our first task is, like I said last season, is to make sure that the fans enjoy what they see for their team in terms of effort, in terms of structure, in terms of making sure that we're moving the ball well and we're attacking and we want to be on the front foot. I think if we do that, I think they'll then respond in kind, and that's the aim.